You're welcome back. We were looking at Howard Gardner's seven multiple intelligences. And so we looked at what is the first one? Linguistic intelligence. Second one? Logical and mathematical. Third one? Musical intelligence. Okay. And now we are looking at the spatial intelligence. Okay. So spatial intelligence is the ability to basically understand and work with things you see in your mind or the world around you. Okay. It means you're very good at perceiving or understanding shapes, patterns, and how things fit together in a space. Okay, more like architecture, more like interior designing or designing things, or see how things will best work in a specific space. Okay, so these kind of intelligence easily imagine what something would look from how something will look at from different angles. Okay, or how different pieces would fit together. Okay, so they might be good at reading maps, solving puzzles, or even creating art. Okay, um, and they excel in tasks like puzzles, maps, mazes, creating diagrams, or designing and organizing physical spaces. Okay, so very good at that. So some of the suggested activities is you can use visual aids like maps, diagrams, pictures, charts. You can also illustrate the Bible stories and concepts by using maps and pictures. Okay, so for example, when you're teaching about the Israelites journeying from Egypt to the promised land, you can show the map, you can highlight various things. Okay, you can also give them puzzles related to Bible themes, and you can encourage these students to solve them. Okay, encourage students to express their understanding about biblical concepts through art. Okay, so they will very well express it to art. So they will either do a song, or they do a mime, or they do a small drama, or they'll write a song as well. So there's something that they will do. So for example, in our children's church, we thought about the fruit of the spirit, and or the gifts of the spirit, and we told them how to use different art forms to uh, you know just portray the fruit of the spirit or the gifts of the spirit through the talents that they have. So it is something that these kind of learners will be very, very good at. Okay, also if you give them drawing, painting, clay molding, whatever, or doing a model, they'll be very good at it because they can visually understand, and they will be able to do it, portray those stories and ideas through models and also through craft projects. Okay, uh, you can use storytelling techniques that appeal to these kind of learners, with which has drama, multimedia presentations, dramatically telling the story, also giving them vivid descriptions of the story, and using videos that would enhance all of these things. So these are spatial and spatial intelligences. Okay, so they're very good at putting things, even gadgets and all. They will somehow find where are the wiring, where are the things, where to put, how to do, what will look good, what curtain, what color will look good, what upholstery will look good, where to place what. So I know my younger sister is very good at that. I'm not at all a spatial intelligence, but she's very good with all of these things. So if we want to buy something at home, or I want to get something for myself, I'll ask her. She'll tell me which is the color, which is the what will suit. She'll just look at the product and she'll say whether it's good or not. And when I wear it or when I use it, everyone will just, and I'll tell them it's my sister. So she's very good at that. Also, my third sister, like she's a scientist, so she's, she works in the genetics department. So, with all these genes and cells, organisms, all of those. She's very good with her hands. So I think these are all like spatial intelligences. Okay. The next one is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. This intelligence relates to the ability to control one's body movements and handle objects skillfully. Okay, so like I was telling my sister, very good at her hands in doing all of these different tests in the lab, science tests in the lab. So bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Okay, so these kind of intelligences, they are physically coordinated. They enjoy sports, physical activities, and learn through movement and touch. So if any of you like to learn through sports, through movement, through touch, you are a bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Okay. So what are some of the activities that we can, son, have games, teach them through games, acting, okay, models, you can do some models, and, also role playing exercises. They will just be very willing to come up and do it. Okay. Um, so provide opportunities for students here also to create crafts, craft work related with the lesson or the theme that you are teaching. They can also build models or the topics that you are teaching them. Encourage them to participate in dramatic performance of the skit on the narratives that you're saying, and allow them to, get into the characters role, okay, or the event of the story, okay. And this will help them basically to understand and retain the lesson. Also, you can use demonstrations to help these kind of learners. So you can use visual demonstrations to teach about abstract concepts. Like, for example, greed. You tell them, hey, greed is going to destroy your life. But children will try to think, how can greed destroy my life? Okay. So you take a tissue paper, okay, like this tissue paper, and you say, is this tissue paper good? Is it good? I mean, I used it, but then can I still use it? Yes, it is good enough to use it. Okay. So you say our lives are like this. But then you say, greed is like, you have a little of something. So you say, I'm putting this drop of water, I have clothes, but I'm not satisfied with my clothes. Okay. I want more clothes. Or some children like shoes. I want more shoes, or I want more gadgets, or I want more money. Okay. And whatever, more of more of money, more of riches, more of position, all of those things. So you say, okay, now I want to use this tissue paper. Okay. So you try to open it. Okay. Try to open it. And what is happening? It's spreading off. Right? So can I use this tissue paper? No, you can say like, greed. This is an object lesson. Like this, greed destroys your life. Okay. Or for example, you take a clean sheet of paper. Okay. Um, okay. So this is a white clean sheet of paper, right? So you say that our lives are like this, okay, clean, but good, bad company corrupts good character. Bad company corrupts good character. Okay. So you have a sheet of paper that's clean and white like this, and you have another sheet of paper which you have rubbed on the sand. Okay. You have taken another sheet of paper which you've rubbed on the floor or on the sand, and it is very, very dirty. Okay. And you say that you meet a person, that person does not have good values. Maybe that person tells lies or speaks bad words or talks bad things. And so you say, no, I'm not going to become like them. So you take this sheet of paper that is dirty and you slowly rub it with that. And then you will see there's blotches of that, that the sand or the mud that comes on this clean sheet of paper. So the Bible says that bad company corrupts good character. So that you'll be able to, just show them through these demonstrations. You know, there are so many. I will share with you a few more when we are studying about object lessons. Also, for these kind of learners, you can incorporate music and movements into your lesson. Like, for example, I was saying when we're narrating the 10 plagues, what happens? You say when I say that uh, Pharaoh, was stubborn, you all have to bang your fist. Okay? Pharaoh was stubborn. Okay? He did not let the people go. Okay, so bodily kinesthetic. You're just giving them some actions to do, some movement in your class. Also, they would like outdoor activities, field trips, that also you can engage them in. Okay, then the last two is the interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence involves understanding and interacting effectively with others. Okay, so these individuals are strong, who are strong in interpersonal intelligence, are good at understanding people's emotions, intentions, and motivations. Okay, so this kind of intelligence, they excel in group activities, they enjoy working together with others, they are good skills in communication and also showing empathy. They are able to understand others. So I don't know if you are an interpersonal intelligence where you like to work with others, you understand others' emotions, you show empathy, and also you are good in your communication with others. Okay. So for such group of intelligence, or such learners, what activities would you suggest for such kind of intelligences? Group studies, group projects, drama, acting, group discussions, acting, role playing, giving them scenarios, right? So all of these, are ways that you can really encourage them. Okay, they would love to have group discussions. You will also see that, when you're teaching, there'll be some children constantly talking with somebody. Oh yeah, it happened to me. What she's saying is correct. I don't agree with her because this happened. So you will always see that one child, who's, because they're learning through interpersonal relation. They have interpersonal intelligence, also linguistic intelligence. They always want to keep speaking words. Okay, somebody or the other. Okay, so you can use role playing. You can use, give them a thing to do, research to do on a specific topic, or a theme that you are teaching them in the children's church. Also get them to do case scenarios where they can bring out problem solving activities in that case scenario. Okay, so that is interpersonal intelligence. And intrapersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence, this intelligence relates to self-awareness and understanding one's own emotions, motivations, and strengths. So they're very different from interpersonal. Interpersonal, they like to interact, communicate, empathize with others, relate with others. But this kind of intelligence, they are more introspective, they're more reflective. They're always thinking about, they're always thinking for themselves, or by themselves, just self-reflecting. They're very good at self-reflection, goal setting, personal growth. They value their own thoughts and their own feelings. So for these kind of learners, you have to give them reflection time. Think, what would you have done? Write down what you would have done. How are you going to apply what you learned? They'll be very good. Okay, they will be quick at journaling, writing down, because it's talking about their own emotions, their own thoughts, their feelings, getting introspective. being very reflective. Okay, so uh, they would always have journals. They'll be writing their own thoughts and ideas. Give them some space and time to think, for themselves. Okay. Um, and also provide opportunities for independent study. They like to study independently. If you tell them to get into group discussion, this intelligence will not. You see them, even if you put them in a group, they'll be outside. They will be looking for the answers in the Bible by themselves, and they'll be thinking. The group will be busy laughing and thinking and discussing. But you see, have you seen one odd one out sitting there just thinking by themselves? It's this in intrapersonal intelligence. Okay. Um, and allow them to express their own selves through music, writing, or different creative expressions. They're very good at goal setting, so you can help them in their spiritual growth, in their character development, academic achievements. All of these kind of intelligence will respond very, very well. Okay, so basically indulge them or engage them in self-assessment activities. Okay, so these are some of the different intelligences. And teachers, you need to cater to more than one of these intelligences when you're teaching, and this will create a good learning environment that supports diverse strengths and learning styles of students. Okay, so let's look at an example. Okay, and then maybe you can have more clarity. So if you are teaching or narrating David and Goliath's story, or if you are narrating Zacchaeus' story, what are some of the things we would use for these different intelligences? Okay, so let's put it more practical so you can understand. What about linguistic? For linguistic learners or intelligences, when you're narrating David's story or Zacchaeus' story, what would you use? The way you're narrating the story should be very expressive, engaging. Use expressive and engaging storytelling techniques. Okay. Yes, use dialogues. Yeah. Use voice modulation, eye contact, body language. Yeah. Okay, get two people to say the dialogues. Okay. Get them to retell the story in their own words. Okay. What else? Ask questions that will spark their will spark discussion and encourage these children to express their thoughts and how they interpret the story. Okay, now we'll come to logical and mathematical intelligence. Okay, so what would you use to cater to this intelligence? Logical and mathematical. Where's the mic?
Will reason, asking questions with like why this happened, that way, and you use puzzles and all.
Okay. Okay. Use questions that will help children analyze, compare the strengths and weaknesses of the characters in the story. Also, discuss the elements, strategic elements in the story, such as David's use of the sling, Zacchaeus climbing up the tree. All of this will be very interesting for them. Also, what can you do? Problem solving questions, right? You need to ask them problem solving questions related to the story. Like, for example, what other creative ways could David have used to kill Goliath? Why he used only sling? What are the creative ways that Zacchaeus could have used to see Jesus? Okay. Okay. We'll move on to the next intelligence, musical intelligence. Song, okay.
Story through story, songs.
Song, okay.
Musical instruments, using
okay.
musical instruments.
Using videos.
Video.
Okay. Teach them a song related to the theme that you are trying to bring out from the story. Okay. Okay, give background music for entry of David, how it will be, get them. Yeah, it's good, because they're looking at a lot of movies and how, they have, get them to write a poem. Yes, some of them can come up with something really quick and fast. You'll be amazed. What else? Write a song. They will also write a song. Good. We'll move to the spatial intelligence. Spatial intelligence. They both are zoned out.
I mean, maps, where did this happen, and can show them.
Maps. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
maps and
Spatial intelligence is more, maps and creating how they can, how to
making
create
the
a space.
swing, that whatever they used
Yes.
with Goliath cave,
Okay.
can make, like, show them that thing,
Yes.
like,
How did he do it? What was the arrangement? Where do you think David was standing? Where do you think Goliath was standing? Where on the tree you think Zacchaeus was sitting? How much distance was there between David and Goliath? Yeah, do you think he was very close that when he hit the stone, hit him right on the forehead? What do you think should the distance be? So all of these, they'll imagine. So you get them to even depict the scenes. Can you just tell us can you just depict the scene for us? One mountain, the Israelites, one mountain, the Philistines, the valley there. So what do you think depict the scene? What do you think would be happening there? These children will be very, very excited. Also. And also you can get them to use them for props and making props and costumes, in acting out the scenes for the story. Okay, and allowing them to just be part of that character in action over there. So you'll be amazed that they will just come up with some props and um, some costumes just on the spot to depict the whole scene. Okay. um, yeah, so that was spatial intelligence. What about bodily kinesthetic intelligence? What can you use? Bodily kinesthetic is they like to move, so what would you do? Action. Ah, yes. How do you think Zacchaeus would have climbed up? Just show gestures into the storytelling. Uh, get them to act it out. Or mimic the characters. How do you think Zacchaeus was sitting on the tree and looking? Maybe he was covering himself with a branch. And when Jesus looked at him, he would have just even more down. And then Jesus said, Zacchaeus, come down. And then he must be trying to put the leaves in between so that how did Zacchaeus see? Maybe my legs, he would see my legs, hanging down, or he would have pulled his leg back. So something like that, you can just ask them to mimic. Okay. So all these are just some quick things that you don't have to elaborately do it, just some quick things on the spot that you can think of. So you're just catering quickly to all of the children. Okay. Um, then, organize games where they can, learn. Also, incorporating physical movements. What about interpersonal intelligence? Interpersonal intelligence, group drama. Okay. Get them characters in the story and get them to act it. Get them group discussion. What else? Get them to take turns to narrate parts of the story, acting out specific characters. Um, and also encourage children to discuss and share their thoughts on the story by asking them questions like, how do you think David felt when he was facing Goliath? Okay. The last one is intrapersonal intelligence. Okay. So how would you cater to this need? Intrapersonal intelligence. Okay. Okay. Oh, mic. Use a mic.
Ask them questions and give them a freehand like ideas like how we are going to portray this character.
Okay. What do you think this character
Okay.
should have done, not done, or how they should have reacted? Okay. What else? Huh? Ask them what is their reflections and thoughts. Yes. Good. Thank you. Mike, please. Ah,
You are in Zacchaeus' place, or if you are in David's place, what you would have done,
okay.
how you would have.
Dealt with it.
Yeah.
Okay. How? What would you have thought? What would be your emotions, feelings? Because intrapersonal, no, emotions, feelings, and for interpersonal, you can ask, how do you think they felt? How do you feel Zacchaeus would have felt when Jesus said, "Come down, I'm coming to your house"? How do you think that David felt when Goliath told him this? And how do you think Goliath would have felt when David said, "I come to you, the name of the Lord, the God of Israel"? So, so that is interpersonal. Intrapersonal, you can ask, what do you think? What do you feel? Okay. Um, yeah. And also get them to journal, write down, like Jackin said, ask them to, write down, reflecting their own thoughts and ideas. Okay. Yeah. So these are the different intelligences and learning styles. So did you find out what is your intelligence? Yeah, it can be a combination of one or more. So what is yours, Prince? Okay. All seven. Francis, you? Okay. Okay. Uh, your spatial intelligence, and you're also logical and mathematical intelligence. Right. Yeah. What about you, Anand? Jackin says she's linguistic, musical, and interpersonal. Yes, you're linguistic for sure, Jackin. Linguistic for sure is Jackin. When we get on a call, Jackin we just can flow with words, you know. And she explains very well. Pray also, she'll flow with words. Her speaks with emotion, very expressive emotion. So, not bad. All of these in-person students know you very well, Jackin. Okay. So the linguistic, musical, and interpersonal. Yes, very, very interpersonal. Yeah. Anand, you? Yeah, what's your combination? Everything? I don't think you're interpersonal. I think you're intrapersonal. And I think you are linguistic and also logical and mathematical, right? What about you, Chira? Please use the mic so that even it's okay, even if it's wrong. What about Shiv Kumar and Meena John and Chaya? Can you share?
Like
Chira.
yeah, like from everything I can learn.
But most of which is dominating.
That I can't like say directly because like everything if I see like from everything I can learn.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have a little of everything, but major is what? What is your intelligence?
No idea.
What about Shiv Kumar? What about Meena John?
The choices are between, I mean, linguistic, yes.
Yes, you are also linguistic, yes.
Yes.
And linguistic and?
What's the difference between intrapersonal and interpersonal?
Okay, interpersonal is interpersonal is you like communicating with others. You like doing group discussions.
Yes, yes.
Empathizing with others. You empathize. You understand other people's feelings, emotions. And also that you understand their people's motivations and intentions. You enjoy
This is
working with
intra. This is
interpersonal.
interpersonal. Yes,
And also
interpersonal also. Yes.
you're skilled in communication and empathy. Intra, tra,
Ah.
is your more, self reflective, you're
Oh,
thinking
no,
about
no, 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 not that.
introspective.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's yes, linguistic, interpersonal. Just now you mentioned one more thing. I forget.
Yeah, you are linguistic, yes, and you're also interpersonal, yes.
Interpersonal because I mean, I'm involved in a lot of other discussions with women, so there's a constant talking and uh,
Yes.
knowing of what is going with them and things. So that is definitely there. And
Are you
one more
also
thing that you
bodily
mentioned.
kinesthetic? Are you also bodily
Beg your
kinesthetic?
pardon?
You have to do things. Are you also bodily kinesthetic? You have to do things.
Yes, yes, little bit. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Shiv Kumar says he's
Thank you.
intrapersonal. Yes, that's why we never get to hear your voice.
Yeah.
And linguistic and logical and mathematical. Thank you. At least we got to know a little about you other than your name, Shiv Kumar. Thank you, Shiv Kumar. Yeah. Chaya, yes, you.
Interpersonal and linguistic, Pastor.
Okay, nice. Interpersonal and linguistic. Yeah, there'll be an overlapping. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Nikhil, what about Nikhil? Sorry, Chaya, you were saying something? I think, Chaya, you're also spatial intelligence because you're very good at shapes and patterns and how things fit because you do so much of artwork, right? Yeah. Yes, you're also spatial intelligence. And also, you are bodily kinesthetic because you handle objects very skillfully. The way you make your chocolates and the way she makes a lot of nice chocolates and, quills and all of those things. She's very candle making. So, yeah, good. Nikhil,
Thank you, Pastor.
he was reading the Bible. He was meditating on the Bible. He's not interested in the intelligence. He's not interested in the intelligences. So, that's why I never asked him. Okay. Francis, huh? Come on, it's important for you to know what kind of a learner you are, yeah, what intelligence you have. Yeah. Okay. Kinesthetic. Okay. Mine. I'm linguistic to a certain extent. I'm also logical, but not mathematical. Just half of it, a little logical. But I can also, think in the mathematical thing. One point of time, I was interpersonal, but I moved now to intrapersonal. I was very, very interpersonal. I had to uh, communicate with others to even learn and all of those things. But I moved from inter to intrapersonal. I think it can. I think there will be a blend of more. Now I'm more leaning towards intra than uh, interpersonal. I hardly talk when I have to with people. I think I'm so tired talking in lectures. I'm teaching that I don't talk. Can you please use a mic?
Being a teacher, this interpersonal intelligence works like, more.
Yeah, being a teacher,
Be-
interpersonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be interpersonal as a teacher. It can be difficult if you're not interpersonal because you won't be able to empathize with the children. No? You won't be able to understand their motivations, their perceptions, what their feelings are. You'll always be thinking about yourself. And that can be quite uh, difficult for the children and also for your. That's why we see many teachers are not don't empathize, and we find it very difficult to discern with them because they are not interpersonal. They're intra. Very They
You
don't
think
understand the feelings.
all these qualities should teacher have?
Which one?
All this.
No, 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 no. God has created us so differently, right? He has given us all of these learning styles and intelligences. There's no need that you have to have all of this intelligences. You have one. That's what said in the beginning, right? You can't say a student is an excellent student because they're doing very well in math and science and they're getting good grades. It's not your IQ test that such intelligence. Some children can be good at music, bodily kinesthetic sports, but you can't write them off. That's how God has created them. Yeah, Nina John says, didn't know about the chocolates, Shaya. Will take you up on that. Will take you up on that. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll just move on. I'll post all of this, this lesson notes on the stream page. Development or even the PowerPoints. Okay, okay. Okay, so we'll just move on. We have like about 13 minutes. Okay, so we look at a divine call and the role of a teacher. Okay, before we go to this next topic, I just want to say that I told you, right, I'll be doing Jan and Feb, but since we missed 4 lecture hours, like 2 I was unwell, and then 2 we missed because of the CLC, right? So 4 lecture hours, I will take that in March, okay? And anyway, Pastor Roshan said he doesn't need many classes, so I will use some of the classes in March. So I will continue in the month of March as well, okay? Divine call and the role of a teacher, okay? So when I look at a divine call and the role of a teacher, this whole incident comes to my mind in Lamentations chapter 2. So Lamentations chapter 2, we read that when the people of Judah and Jerusalem were carried into captivity, the very poor people and their children were left behind in Judah and Jerusalem. Okay, and the prophet Jeremiah was also left with them. And the sad scene of that time was many children were dying of starvation. Okay, many children were dying of starvation. Why were they dying of starvation? Because there was insufficient food and there was no way for them to get any food. Okay, so look at what Jeremiah cries out in Lamentations chapter 2, verse 11 and 12. So can somebody read that, please?
My eyes fail from weeping because children and infants faint in the streets of the city.
We see that Jeremiah is saying that, his eyes, fail from, fail from weeping because children and infants are fainting in the streets of the city. And why are they fainting in the streets of the city? Because there is no food. And so we see that Jeremiah pleads with the Lord's people. He tells them, please weep and pray. And he says, look at what he says in Lamentations 2, verse 19. So can somebody read that, please? Lamentations 2, verse 19.
Let tears run down like a river by day and night. Give thyself no rest. Arise, cry out in the night, in the beginning of the watches. Pour out thine heart like water before the face of the Lord. Lift up thy hands towards him for the life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street.
Yeah. So he says, he's telling the parents, he's telling the people, hey, weep and moan, cry out, in the night, in the beginning watches, pour out their heart to the Lord. Lift up your hands to the Lord so that he will have mercy on whom? He'll have mercy on the young children because they are fainting or they're dying of hunger, in every street. Okay. And then we see also Jeremiah accuses the people of being cruel. Look at how he accuses them. Look at what he says in Lamentations chapter 4, verse 3 and 4.
Even the jackals present their breasts to nurse their young. But the daughter of my people is cruel, like ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the infant clings to the roof of its mouth for thirst. The young children ask for bread, but no one breaks it for them.
Yes. So he's saying here that, what is he accusing the people of? Being cruel. Yes. He's saying even the animals provide food for the children, but here the tongue of the infants are clinging to the roof of their mouths for the thirst because there's no food, water to drink. They're asking for bread, but there's no one to give them. So this is a real situation that happened in Judah and Jerusalem. And when I look at the situation, I'm reminded that the condition of children in Judah and Jerusalem is very, very similar to the situation of the children today. Why do I say it's similar? Why do I say it's similar? Cruelty to children, okay. Why do I say it's very similar? Today's children, what they are going through is very similar to what the children faced in the, during the time of exile in Judah and Jerusalem. They're not getting the love and care, yeah, okay, from their children, from their parents, okay, effort from their parents, no time, okay. Why else do I say it's same? Can you use a mic, please? Yeah.
They are not minding any of the things that what children wants, and because that the young children ask for bread, but no one breaks it for them.
Mm-hmm.
But here in these days, what children want, what they needs.
They're giving them what they want and what not, which is not necessary,
Yeah.
unnecessary. They're giving it to them just to please them, just to buy that, the time that they're not able to spend with them or show them love. They think they're showing them love, but they're giving them things that are not uplifting them, building them up. Yes, mentally, emotionally. Yes, very true. I'm saying this because I feel the condition of the children in Jerusalem is very typical to the spiritual needs of children in, certain parts of our world today. Okay. Children in Jerusalem were starving for physical food, but children today are starving for spiritual food. Okay. Children know God, they know there is a God, they know about God, but they don't have a personal relationship with Him. Okay? They have a form of godliness, but they deny its power. Okay? And when they see situations around, especially, when they look at the marriages of their parents, the way their parents are relating to each other, they're looking at their parents just working, 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 have no time for them. They're not giving them the care, the attention, the love, or they are just looking at the world and all the glamour that is over there, and nobody's telling them, hey, this is not right, this is not they don't discuss something, they don't discuss with them and tell them, hey, this is not right, this is not what we should be doing, this is how it should be, what do you think? There's nobody to talk and discuss and tell them what is right and wrong. And even when parents face things, they don't want to, or they see things that are happening in society, what is their first reaction? They protect their children, right? They don't let them to go here or there, or they give them just mobiles, or just put them in front of the computer, but they have easy access to every garbage that is there in those gadgets. They think they're protecting themselves, by not sending them out, but actually they're not able to communicate and tell them what is happening in our society. Why is this happening? What should we be doing? How should we address this? How should we keep ourselves safe? Okay, so they don't want to talk about it. They put everything under covers, right? They don't want to bring off those issues, but it's important that we talk about it. So that's why nowadays, life skills in schools, they're just willing to take us, because he come and talk about emotional quotient, come and talk about mental resilience for these children, because they're struggling. And specifically after the pandemic, we've seen that there's such a shift and change in children's minds and emotions. I myself found it very difficult when I got back immediately after the year that schools reopened after the pandemic. The children were wild and mad. The teachers also were saying we're not able to handle them, we're not able to control them. Even I was thinking, I've never seen kids like this. See, it was very, very difficult. So, they are also trying to, and we look at it from their perspective. They're in this whole visual world, in those four walls. They have grown up now, they're coming out, they are excited, especially in co-ed schools. I was thinking, why are these 8th, 9th, and 10th behaving like crazy, and then I realized, hey, when they went before the pandemic, they were only in grade 5 or 6. They were not grown. Now they are grown. They're excited about this boy, that girl. They're trying to show themselves to be, like the survival of the fittest. And all of that is happening in the schools. This behavior issues, the way children are speaking to the teachers. Teachers are shocked. So the children are going through so much. Okay, and there is a tremendous need. Okay, and only if we can meet that need. Okay, just like Jeremiah prayed and said, hey, come on, meet the existing need that is there. And like Jeremiah said, give them bread. And I am saying, hey, we have the bread of life, right? We have the bread of life, but who will take it to these perishing millions? Okay? We have the bread of life. Like Jeremiah is saying, give them bread. What are you doing? The parents were just letting their children die. And I am also saying, hey, we have the bread of life, but who will take it to the perishing millions? And the situation is so similar to what we see in Lamentations. Yes, Anand?
What do you mean by children today are starving for spiritual food?
Children today are starving for spiritual food means they know God, but they don't have an intimate personal relationship with Him. They have a form of godliness, but denying its power, like Paul says.
You're speaking about only Christians, or you're speaking about others?
Even I'm speaking about, okay, when it comes to non-Christian children, they know God, right? They also believe in God, right? But they don't have that personal, intimate relationship that, hey, I can go to my whoever God, so-called God, and ask for help. Or if I went, He did not help me, So they are eternity is in the heart of everyone, like the Bible says. So they're all looking for answers. They're all searching for answers. Only if you give them.
Why I'm asking this question is there is a when there is a situation
Not
happened.
able to protect you.
Yeah, happened like when teacher is speaking like this in a teachers meeting, and there is another teacher like stood up and asked, how you know they are starving? In their religion,
Hmm.
they would have been happy. Why we have to go and disturb them? The
Hmm.
teachers meeting is happening. So it's a Christian teachers meeting. So there is a question like this came up. So
Yes.
they are feeling there is a need. They are really starving, or we are only thinking that they are starving for spiritual food.
Yeah. So, the thing is, their religion, they will say that, hey, I went and prayed, but God did not, my God did not answer. That is why they go searching for the answers. Who is the real God? Who will answer me? Who will bring me out of this? Who will bring me out of this problem and situation? I'm praying, I'm doing everything, but I'm not experiencing peace and joy. Where is God? How much more should I do? So, so there is a need there, but you need to give them the truth. You need to give them this God who would meet their need, come across to them, identify with them, come to a place where they are able to relate in a personal level. Right? That's when they are satisfied. Huh. Yes. Yes.
Not
Yes.
answered.
Yes.
So
So when we go to schools, we tell them, okay, you just pray in the name of Jesus, just believe by faith. You're asking for something, or you've written these things, you're asking, you're praying for somebody, come back next week. I tell them, I'm not asking to pray to any other God. Just try Jesus this week. Come back and give us. Tell me, did Jesus answer? Did he help you? They'll come back, and some of them say, they prayed and how Jesus really helped them. So it's a testimony to others. Yes. Even for our Christian children. Actually, if you go to schools, it's heartbreaking because our Christian children are the worst behaved compared to other children. When I call out there and ask them what their name, they'll say Joshua, Samuel, and all. My heart will break. And then I call them and then just speak to them and tell them, yeah. Jackin says many times they don't want to come closer to God because their elders' example or lack of love, and they aren't able to see that we can walk in obedience to Christ. Yes, very true. Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll stop here. I'll see you next week. Thank you. God bless. Yeah, you can please open that door because I think the next